Monica McGillicuddy from NHRealtyScoops.com, and today is actually day 28 of Veda, and I'm going to talk about what was the weirdest thing or the grossest thing I ever ate or drank, and how did it taste. So I will tell you that some of you know that my husband and I have a motorhome. We have an RV, and years ago when we bought our first RV, it was a little smaller than the one we currently have. When we bought our first RV, we went on a trip and we met this old timer who had been RVing all his life, and he kind of gave us a lot of help, a lot of tips. He showed us how to use things, and he said to me, "I'm going to save you a fortune. If you do what I say, you're going to save a lot of money." And he proceeded to give me a homemade recipe for septic tank chemicals. You know, RVs have tanks, and we have a black tank, and that's where the poo-poo goes. Then we have a gray tank, and that's sort of where your water goes, your showers and your sinks and stuff like that. So you have to put chemicals in those tanks so that the gases and the horrible smells don't come up and all that stuff. So anyways, he gave me this recipe with a combination of ammonia, whisk, pine sol, and he said, if you use this, you'll save money. So of course, I started to use it. I used to mix it in a empty water, a gallon water jug, and I would mix it up. And in our smaller RV, we had very limited storage, so I would store it in the shower. And one year, we were in Bar Harbor with our friends, and we decided, it was Columbus Day weekend, and we decided we were going to take the cat over to Nova Scotia, and the seas were rough, but we already had our tickets. So my friend was saying, "Oh, don't worry about it, you're not going to get sick." But you know what? I did. I took that Dramamine, whatever it's called, stuff, and I got so sick. By the time we got to Nova Scotia, I was sort of green at the gills. We get there, all excited to finally be on ground, you know, after the rough crossing, only to find out it was their Thanksgiving and everything was closed. So we're walking around and sick, and it wasn't really a good time, and I was really dreading coming back. The ocean was so rough, they canceled the Nova Scotia Princess. She wasn't going to run to Bar Harbor, but the cat still was. So we got on the cat, we went across, and we arrived back in Bar Harbor, and I was sick as a dog. We got back to the motorhome, I went in, I took a shower, and then not even drying my hair. My hair was, you know, wet. You know, when you go to bed with wet hair and it was sticking out all over the place. I didn't even bother to dry it. I was so sick, and I laid down in the front of the motorhome on the couch, and I fell asleep. And I got up, I don't know what time it was, I was really thirsty, and I was still groggy, and my hair was all over the place, and in the dark, I'm fumbling, and I'm thirsty, and I never really, you know, drink from a gallon jug, but I saw the water jug on the counter, and before I could even really think about it, I uncorked it, and I just juggled and juggled and juggled. I think I had like 3 big gulps before I realized what I was drinking wasn't water, and it was burning me, and all that stuff. I couldn't believe I drank the septic, the homemade septic chemicals. And I never put it back in the shower when I got done in my grogginess. So anyways, I mean, my husband says to me, "Oh, just take some Tums and go to bed, you'll be fine." And I'm like, "No, I'm poisoned." So long story short, he brings me to the hospital. They call psych down to come talk to me. I sent a counselor down just in case I was an abused wife. You know, I mean, who goes into a hospital and says, "And just poison myself. I drank some whisk and some ammonia and some pine sol." You got to sound crazy. So it was definitely the grossest thing I ever drank. And then the stuff I had to drink afterwards to, you know, make it better was even worse. It was this black, like muddy, like charcoal-y stuff. It was gross, but I drank it, and then you can imagine what happened after that. So that's my story. Monica McGillicuddy, NHRealtyScoops.com, and Veda is almost over. Can you believe it?